What's going on, guys? It's your boy Zach No C here, and today we are diving into the best tracks recap for the month of April 2021. As always, this is not a ranking, so the songs are in no particular order. However, I will be saving my favorite of the month for last, so make sure you watch to the end. A lot of cool stuff dropped this month, so without further ado, let's get into it. Kicking off this month's Best Tracks recap, I gotta give a shout out to Quadeca with Candles on Fire. It's one of my favorite tracks off his latest album, which came out on the very last day of last month, and I actually reviewed it, so you can check that out up here if you haven't already. It's an explosive, fiery banger that sees Quad lashing back at all those keyboard warriors who just aren't putting that respect on his name. Great self-produced instrumental on here. It's honestly one of my favorite hip-hop beats of the year. Just top tier banger alert. It's a great track, so go check it out. You don't want to miss it. Next, I gotta get an obvious highlight out of the way. This one from pop superstar Billie Eilish with the song Your Power. Billie's really bringing back that low-key acoustic balladry, a total foil to the vibe of the last teaser we got to her new album, Therefore I Am, in the front end of this year. It's a lovesick track that hears Billie speaking to who I assume is a past significant other, airing out a little bit of that emotional, dirty laundry. The instrumental from Phineas is really minimal and stripped back and definitely reminds me of some of the more low-key moments off her last LP, most notably I Love You. It is a solid song, a super solid single, and bet I am looking forward to her new album, which is dropping on July 30th. Also can't forget this new one off YSL Records, Slime Language 2 LP. It is That Go, featuring Young Thug, Meek Mill, and T-Shyne. If you're looking for an in-your-face, energetic trap banger with a solid hook, some speedy flows, and an all-around insane energy, this one is definitely for you. Thugger absolutely kills it. Meek kicks off the tracks with one of the best features and the coolest flows I've heard him play with in ages, and T-Shyne really flexes his skills and reaffirms that he is someone to watch on the YSL roster. Next up, Corday is back with a brand new 4-track EP to hold the fans over until his sophomore album drops a little later on this year. Now, I think all the tracks on Just Until do go pretty hard in their own right, but I do want to quickly highlight Dream in Color in particular. This track is really Corday doing what he does best, spitting witty, skillful, and inspirational bars over a dope, low-key, and vibey instrumental that I absolutely love. It's just a winning combination all around. Every time this cat drops, I get excited, and it seems like every single time we get a taste of new music from him, he's really pushing his craft forward, so bet that I am incredibly excited to see what he's going to be doing on his new LP coming out later this year. Speaking of skilled lyricists, Conway The Machine is back with his sophomore studio album, La Machina, which you can peep my review for up here. The song KD is not only a highlight in the track list that it exists within, but is also a career highlight for Conway himself. Catchy and confident as ever, Conway is really doing an incredible job at translating his fundamentalist approach to making hip-hop into something that's a bit more palatable for modern audiences. I love the hook on here, and even though he is kind of jacking that like Bodak Yellow flow just a little bit, the overall track still absolutely bangs. The next track I want to shout out is off of the album Kids from Israeli singer-songwriter and rapper Noga Erez. She recently got some shout-outs online from both Billie Eilish and Phineas, which is what landed her on my radar in the first place. The song is called Views and features some amazing contributions from both Rousso and Cragun. It is a bouncy pop rap track with a really unique instrumental and an absolutely bulletproof hook, complemented flawlessly by some really incredible verses from Noga and Rio. The track is a full-on retaliation against the fakeness of internet and social media culture that really permeates throughout our society today. And when you roll up all of those conceptual and sonic qualities, the resulting track is just absolute fireworks! My review for the album this track appears on is actually going to be coming out within the next week or so keep your eyes on the channel for that. It's a really solid record. Next, I gotta give a nod to Brockhampton. I did not need to yell that. Brockhampton with the song Don't Shoot Up the Party. This one landed on their near flawless LP Roadrunner that dropped a little bit earlier on in this month, which you can peep my review for up here. I get such intense saturation vibes off this cut, but honestly that added maturity in the mix here really keeps everything feeling as fresh, new, and catchy as ever. Regardless, this track being as absolutely insane as it is, I'm gonna recommend that you just listen to the whole album, because I swear to God, it is just not something you want to miss. Almost at the end now, we've got the very last hip-hop track that's gonna land on this month's list. Legendary hip-hop producer The Alchemist has a brand new teaser out for his new EP, This Thing of Ours. The song is called Nobles, featuring Earl Sweatshirt and Navy Blue. Now, I've been an Earl fan for a super long time. The first concert I ever went to on my own was actually the Vancouver stop on Earl's very own Doris tour back in 2013, and I've absolutely loved watching his progression ever since. This new track stays esoteric and lyrically dense, like I have come to expect from most of Earl's latest output, but it's a bit more straightforward and palatable than anything that would have turned up on some rap songs or Feet of Clay, for example. It's still in that vein though, so if you dig anything off of those two projects, then this one should probably be right up your alley. And now, for my favorite track of April 2021, it's Jeff Rosenstock's SKrAm off of his latest LP, SKrAm. Now, SKrAm in itself is a very unconventional record. It is actually a top-to-bottom reproduced and re-recorded version of his 2020 LP, No Dream, except this time the entire album is ska punk. Now, the original No Dream was already so incredible, but I swear to God, the ska reworks of every single one of these tracks are just on another level. Now, I'm not going to be reviewing this album because, to be entirely honest with you, my knowledge of ska as a genre really begins and ends with the song Stupid Horse by 100 Gex. But just because I don't trust myself to really make any interesting content out of it, I do have to admit that SKrAm is without a doubt one of my favorite LPs of the year so far, and I 100% recommend it to anybody and everybody who has an open mind musically. With that being said, SKrAm specifically is hands down my favorite track on this new record. Its lyrics are a tongue-in-cheek retaliation against anything and everything that brings negativity into your life, completely unchanged from the original version back on No Dream. But the newly minted ska approach to this song just brings out so much more of an exhilarating and nostalgic vibe. Definitely a solid one to scream along to with your friends whenever it shows up in the road trip playlist. And that's it, guys. As always, everything that I talked about today is linked down in the description, so make sure you check these tracks out if you haven't heard them already. And thanks to everybody who watched the video. If you like what you saw, please make sure to drop a like and join the conversation in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and hit the bell to get notified anytime I upload new videos. Also, be sure to follow me on Instagram @_NoCNotes for access to all of my exclusive live streams and other content. I appreciate you coming by, guys. Thank you so much for watching No C Notes. My name is Zach No C. Stay hydrated, and I will see you guys for the next one. Peace.